Hey, Senda.
Hey, Phil.
Do you want to have a quickie?
Yeah, let's do that. Show really fast.
Quickie show. Yes, that's
right.
what I meant.
Yes, before the holidays. Yeah,
Excellent.
Let's do that.
Cue music. And welcome to another fine episode of Panda's Talking Games. I am your host with a belly like a bowl full of jelly, Phil.
And I am your other host who wishes she had pointy ears.
And adorned in snowflakes.
I am adorned in snowflakes, but if you're Santa, I guess that makes me elf. So
You could just be Mrs. Claus. Like
I was going for. Oh, okay. Well, I don't. How do you identify?
I don't know. She bakes cookies. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Sure, I bake cookies.
You do bake cookies. Anyway, you're Senda.
Anyway, hi, I'm Senda. Yeah.
Listen, we promised you a show before Christmas break.
We sure did.
This is the show, but here's the deal. We're doing it really quick. There are a couple things going on during the day. Senda's got to go. Also, it's like the holiday time. You know, we've been bustling and all that. So we're going to do really short chit-chat, a quickie chit-chat, which is just framed around the normal what's giving us life in general, what's giving us life in gaming kind of thing. And from there, that'll be the whole show. And this will be our last one for the next couple weeks. So just as a quick reminder, this episode will drop on December 20th. We will then be off on December 27th and January 3rd. Mm-hmm. And we will make our triumphant return in the year 2022 on January 10th.
Correct. Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, happy holidays, everybody. We'll wish it to you again on the way out, but happy holidays.
But,
Okay, so Senda, really quick, let's do the gaming parts first. Is there anything giving you life in gaming right now?
But I was thinking this is hard. You flipped it on me, and I was prepared for the other question.
If you want to kick it back to me for a moment to think, I'll happily do mine and give you that moment.
Take yours first, because I was super prepared for what was giving me life in general, and less prepared for gaming.
Okay. I will say for me, what's giving me life in gaming right now is actually setting up my first Cortex Prime game. That's just simply right now called AUX, A-U-X. It is a home-grown sci-fi game about geniuses flying around the universe doing good things, like stopping disasters and helping people and stuff. So I'm kind of excited about it, but I'm really excited because this is really my first jump into Cortex Prime. I've been excited about getting into this game for a little while in the same ways that like 10 years ago, I was really excited about getting into Fate. And not that I'm done with Fate in any way. I mean, there will always be a space in my heart for Fate. But I'm also excited about the idea of a new toolbox from which to build ideas for games. So I'm really excited because I really want to get into the system, learn it and stuff like that. And one of the things that was kind of really getting to me was dice. So I think if you know, the Cortex Prime system uses 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12-sided dice. And you need a couple of them, right? Because you're going to be rolling like a couple of them every time you make your dice pool. And me being me, I'm like, well, I can't just, like, I could just go into my dice collection and harvest.
It's not like you don't have dice.
No, it's not like I don't have a big bag of dice.
Large collection of dice.
Absolutely, right? Like, it's not like I couldn't just find, like, 5d6, 5d8, or whatever. But I'm also me, and might be OCD, right? A thing I'm talking to my therapist about this this coming week. So what I really want is, like, I want one color of... I want 6s that are all the same, and I want 8s, 10s. Like, I want each of the dice type to be the same dice and the same color, because I think that'll just look cool. So I found a place online that sells individual opaque Chessex dice. I think they sell like transparent as well, but for like 55 cents a die. So this will be like I don't know, $20 venture. I can get all the dice in different colors, opaque, set. And then I'll go buy a little plastic case that I can keep them all in.
It's
in
boy,
order.
it's too bad that there's no Container Store in Buffalo. Just saying.
I can order online. Container Store ships. I'm okay. But anyway, all about Cortex Prime right now. I do want to get the hardcover book. I'm kind of waiting till after Christmas. I don't think it's on any of my Christmas lists, but it's okay. I just have a moratorium about buying myself anything until after Christmas, so I'm going to kind of wait. I'm going to kind of wait for that to go through, and then I will have and then I'm going to go get a hardcover book for it because I think the game's pretty. Pretty slick. I think that the Cortex, the design by Cam Banks is really smart. I have my eye on making a couple more Cortex adaptations for personal use, including modifying one of my favorite games of all time, my ultimate heartbreaker game, Underground. I think I can totally do as a Cortex game. So I'm probably at some point going to get involved in that nonsense as well. But in the meantime, this aux setting is pretty cool, and I've been having some fun with it, and looking forward to we're going to sit down this week and actually figure out what rules we're using.
Right.
Like we're going to actually have, it's cool. Like the toolkit's big enough and expansive enough that one of the discussions we have to have is what kinds of attributes will describe our characters.
Yeah, which has a lot to do with what is the focus of the game. Challenge points in this game.
Exactly, yeah. Right? So the easiest would be let's do attributes and skills, right?
Right, done.
That's easy. No. But is that going to be the best one? I actually don't think it is. I'm thinking that I might do I might want to propose to everybody approaches because this game's about geniuses doing stuff, so engineering, synthesizing, recall, all intellectual stuff.
Yeah.
And then maybe 3 attributes for physical, mental, emotional, so that things if you're physically building something, that's physical plus engineering. If you are designing a thing like a dam to stop a super flood, then it's mental engineering.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's
yet.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what you come up with.
My table's got a bunch of smart people. It's going to be fun to have that discussion and be what, from a designer's point of view, how do we match the attributes, like you said, to the game play that we want to have?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. The experience of where you want the challenges and the randomization to happen. Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Yep.
That was my gaming thing. Did I buy you enough time?
Oh yeah, you totally did.
Perfect. Sorry,
okay.
I didn't. So I'll apologize really quick. I wanted to do the ladies first, right? Because we don't always need dude talking first.
Well, no.
But we were also winging this episode, and we did not check with each other to see what we were prepared for. So that's why.
Well, and I had the beginnings of an idea, just not how to frame it and phrase it yet.
Perfect. It was perfectly fine.
I was just bleh.
Yeah. When we do these things, it's perfectly fine to just kick it back and
make you talk first.
But
it's
you're
fine.
good now.
I am good now because
excellent.
So there is a cool thing, and I haven't been able to engage it yet. So my crew is hopefully, although it's a little shaky, getting together for one last game on Christmas Eve. Right? We are hoping to. We're going to see, but things are starting to get a little bit iffy with families coming into town and stuff. So it's a little bit up in the air, but we'll see. I'm hoping that we will, because our last game. Let's see. We are playing Monster Hearts right now, and we started into Monster Hearts going into Halloween, thinking monsters, this will be great, and then of course did the thing where we're still playing Monster Hearts because we've only really gotten 1 to 2 sessions in, and then we hit the holiday, everything started going off the rails part, which happened last year too. We ended up playing our traveling home for a month and a half, 2 months, 3 months. I don't remember, but it was a while. So I'm figuring this is the game that's going to be like that this year, and that's fine. We're having lots of fun with it. But the specific thing that is giving me life here, and I have to both say this and then say I had nothing to do with this idea, and it was brilliant, and I'm just thrilled to pieces to be involved. Right? We had a game session that not everybody could make it to. So we don't want to play into the actual story because we're really only like 1 to 2 sessions into the actual story at this point. So like somebody missing, and it wasn't even just one, it was a couple people like missing a session that early on when we're trying to solidify relationships and how characters work and stuff is tricky, right? It's tricky to play through that. So we did what my group does as a fallback that we've talked about before, which is we played a prequel. And this particular prequel that we played was how Quincy's character died because none of us knew, and he is playing a ghost. He's playing the ghost, and she doesn't know how she died, and like our characters, in theory, some of us know, some of us don't, but but she's a ghost, which has been really interesting to like play with, contextually and stuff. But so basically Quincy said, I can't make it to the next session. And we were like, cool, like we'll figure something out. Right. And then it was like, what if you figure out how I died and I don't know, that would be super cool because I don't remember how I died. And we went, ooh. So the thing that's specifically giving me life is we played this session where we reframed yes, like we do for everything. So we reframed yes to, instead of having like a happy everybody's in love ending, we reframed yes as a scene structure to get to how do we get from point A, which is we're all doing a play at the community college, to point B, which is that this person is dead. And we know that she drowned in her car and we didn't know anything else about it. So we actually played through that, and I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to give up the ghost, as it were, just in case you're listening.
Hey, I see what you just did.
But what's really, really cool and fun about this, and what I'm really excited about, is the next time we sit down at the table, of the 6 of us, 4 of us know how she died because we played through it and we figured it out. And I will say, there were a couple of pretty key suspects that looked really suspicious, and we kind of got a surprise ending. So I think it's going to be really cool when it comes out. So the thing that's really exciting and giving me life about this is that we've intentionally created a situation at the table where like we have a shared secret, sort of, but it is a secret. But also as players, we did the correct thing, right? Everybody knows we have a secret. Now, part of what we're specifically doing in this case, and of course with consent and discussion, etc., is that as players, we don't all know the secret. But we do all know that there is a secret that some of us know. And the interesting thing is that some of our other characters ended up involved in parts and pieces of that situation in weird ways that we can now bring up to try to like make some of this stuff like come out, which is also super cool.
I think what's really neat. What's really neat about this, if I can interject.
Yeah.
Your group has an amazing knack for doing this, which is, and I think it's a thing we could do a whole show on later.
Yeah.
Is that you guys do this really cool thing where, one, you're using 2 systems, right? Because you're always playing one game, but you guys always you guys will jump into a game of yes for literally anything. But I love how you are. You answer questions about backgrounds using a separate system.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're using a system that has more narrative control.
Yes.
Because part of the thing about doing flashbacks is you have to stick the landing. Right?
Yes.
Like
and the thing I will say about yes, and the reason that yes is our go-to for this is because there is no randomization in yes. You have complete narrative control, right?
Exactly.
So it's a very powerful tool for doing this kind of thing because it is a game that is written to have a prescribed ending, right?
Yes.
It is a game specifically created to be, we know the end point, how do we get there, right? So it's perfect.
Yeah, and to go to my point, right? Like, and again, I think we could just blow this out to a future episode.
Sure.
The sticking the landing is like really important because you have to resume continuity.
Yes.
When you bring this piece in, it has to fit into the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So by having by like reducing the variability like down to like literally nothing, you can work through this background story and have it fit right in to the main to the main story, and thus you guys have actually played and added, like played a different game but put it back into the main game world. I think it's fantastic. And
yeah,
I'll pause there because we definitely should do a whole episode on this.
We kind of should, yeah.
I'm gonna put it on a post-it note.
Put it in a post-it note or something so we don't forget. Yeah, and it works really specifically well for situations exactly like this one, and they tend to be the things we go back and play now that we have kind of figured out this whole thing, which is, we know that she died in a car, like in a lake. Right? We know that, and we have no idea how. And so the game is definitely the discovery of how that happened. And one of the things that I will just say that makes this a very powerful tool for us is that because it's something that we tend to do when people are gone, and especially like this case, even more so than ever, right? I just really appreciate the amount of trust that is at our table that we can do this kind of thing. Like we all made a background decision for Quincy. And like, that's cool. And we're all excited about it, right? Like that's a thing that is good and fun for us. And that we do with discussion, consent, and trust. So that's a thing that I really, really appreciate about this crew that I'm playing with, that doesn't necessarily transfer to these people that I just sat down with for the first time, but it is something that's really neat and that I appreciate a lot. It's really good. Anyway, so that's my giving me life in gaming. It is giving me much life. I'm very excited to play. I hope we get to play on the 23rd. If not, it'll have to wait till January to figure out kind of what happens, because I'm excited to start seeing how that folds back into the story, and how that becomes also potentially a little bit of a meta game, because specifically some of us as players have a secret. So anyway, it's gonna be cool.
It's brilliant.
It's good.
And it's going to be a future topic.
And it's going to be a future topic. We'll talk more about that kind of, flashbacky thing. Anyway.
Yep.
Do you want to tell me what's giving you life outside of gaming?
Sure. This won't be a surprise based on timing, but I'm definitely I am full on Christmas spirit at this point. I was a little unsure of how this first Christmas, in my own place, would go. But it's going great, in part thanks to your help. I have a Christmas tree. I have some presents under the Christmas tree. I got a stocking. I got a very cool stocking, actually, that you made.
Yes.
That's got Baby Yoda, Christmas Baby Yoda fabric on the top of it. It is chef's kiss amazing. But also, I was just talking to my parents who are coming up, and they're going to stay at my place, but we're also going to go to my ex's, to do Christmas with the kids, and it's, very chill.
Yeah.
It's very fine, working out all the details for, whose houses we're going to, whose place we're going to be at for what thing is, all, very, was very easily done. And I'm just having the Christmas spirit, right? I've my gifts, all but I think 2 gifts have arrived at the house. I'm going to probably do some wrapping. I don't know. I might do some today because I might need to wrap some stuff before the kids come over. They're coming over tonight. Although I only have 2 hours. We'll see. I'm a really bad wrapper. But I'm definitely full on Christmas. I'm full on Christmas spirit here. I'm making the kids watch Christmas Vacation tonight. I say making because my kids never want to watch anything from the past, but I'm rubbish. It's Christmas. You're watching this movie. That's not a choice. Normally we have a little bit of democracy involved in what movie we're going to watch, but nope, we're not. We're going to be watching.
Yep.
No, and then later next week we'll watch Die Hard because that's a Christmas tradition with my son and I, to watch the great Die Hard. Anyway, I don't know. I'm feeling very Christmassy. Like I said, there's always that anxiety, especially this year with shipping and everything. Will all my stuff get to where it needs to be? And I'm down to literally 2 items. There's one is pretty much a sure thing, which is a t-shirt for my daughter that's coming from Amazon.
Yeah, just coming like on the 23rd or something,
I'm
right?
fairly confident, but it's coming in like right on the 23rd, which is closer than I'm comfortable with. The other one was a long shot gift from my dad that wound up, when I ordered it, unbeknownst to me, when I ordered it, shipped from China.
Yikes. That is specifically where the problems are.
But I ordered it on like the 3rd,
Yeah.
and I know it's now in the US.
Okay, so maybe.
Yes. So now I'm feeling much more confident, because my big concern was, will it get from China into the US, right?
Yes.
And it's a single package, so I'm pretty sure it went plane, not boat.
Yeah.
But like it says it's being handed off to US carrier, which means it's now like getting handed off to like either UPS or post office or something. I'm feeling much better, because I believe its destination where it arrived was JFK Airport in New York City.
So it should be pretty
which
close.
puts it in a stone's throw, like just across the state. So I believe in Christmas miracles. My fingers crossed this package will arrive for my dad, because it is a Christmas sweater.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Based on the what you call it, Christmas Vacation. So, which is his favorite Christmas movie. So I'm really trying to stick the landing on this one.
well, can I tell you I'll tell you really quickly my shipping hilarity from today, and then I will tell you my giving
And then
me
you should
life.
just roll right into your thing.
Yeah, so this morning I woke up and I've been waiting for this dress that I ordered to get here. And fortunately, I don't need it for anything specifically, but like, I was getting it just a used thing that was a fancy dress, and I'm excited for it to come. And I looked at the tracking, like I got the notification, was like, this is going to be late, like several days ago. And I was like, okay, weird. But I looked into the detailed tracking this morning, and it shipped from Memphis, and it got to Denver. And that's cool. And then it went from Denver, just to be clear, I live in Denver, just to make sure that we're all on the same page here. It shipped to Denver. And then it went to Minnesota. And the last place it was is still in Minnesota, which was 3 days ago. And it says it's in transit. So I'm assuming it's in transit back to Colorado now, I guess. But I'm like, why did it go to Minnesota? Anyway, that's my shipping story for the day.
I'm sure that some algorithm thought that was a good idea, but like
I think
like,
it just
doesn't make any sense.
I feel like it got put in the wrong pile and ended up in the truck that went to Minnesota, and it wasn't supposed
and now
to.
somebody's like, "What's this doing here?"
Yeah, puts it back in the truck to Denver, and apparently it takes 3 days to ship from Denver to Minnesota, because that's how long it took to get there the first time. So I'm expecting that today it'll show back up in the Denver distribution center, and then I'll get it like in the next couple of days. But I was like, "Aw." Anyway. So the thing that I will say that's giving me life is not complete yet, but I did discover over the last couple of days, thanks to TikTok, and oh no, what's his name? The Iggy.
Yes. Hang on, I'll try to. You keep talking.
Okay, I'm going to keep talking. You look it up. But there's a fantastic gentleman on TikTokies who does old vintage recipes, and he's a delight to watch. And sometimes they come out well, and of course, sometimes they're disgusting. And either way, getting to watch him first make them and make really brilliant commentary about them, and then secondarily try them, and his expressions as he tries them, because sometimes things surprise him and they're really good, and sometimes they are really bad. Anyway, the other day on TikTok, he was making homemade peppermint patties, and he was like, I didn't know this was a thing you could make at home. And I went, I didn't know this was a thing you could make at home either. Those are my favorite. I mean, I have a couple favorite candies, but they're like up there, right? I am a chocolate and mint kind of gal. And I went, what now? So last night, I looked up how to make peppermint patties. And there are mint patties in my freezer right now, as we speak, that hopefully one of the things I'm going to do today is dip them in chocolate. And then I will have made my own peppermint patties. And that is a delight.
So that person's name is B. Dylan Hollis.
Yes, that's him.
You can Google Dylan Hollis. You will find some of the videos on YouTube. If you are on the TikToks, it is B. Dylan Hollis, all one word. Yes, so it's amusing on. So if you've never seen it, their videos are amusing on a number of different fronts, right? First of all, they're doing vintage recipes across.
They're from pretty much from the 1900s through the 80s.
Yes, and there are definitely some winners.
Yeah.
And there are definitely some losers in this.
Yes.
Like, I'm just looking, one of the ones that they made recently was the Spaghetti-O Jello ring from the 1960s,
very
70s.
Bad.
It looks awful. Like, it actually looks well constructed. I imagine it just tastes awful.
Made very well, but
But in addition, they are hysterical. Like, their TikToks are exceedingly well made, edited well. They're very funny.
I'm reasonably sure he/him pronouns, but I'm not 100% sure, so it's fair.
I wasn't 100% sure. I was sticking with they. But it's delightful. I always love when it pops up in my
favorite TikTok
in my feed.
channels.
I always watch the whole thing and like it.
So good. He's got such a cute kitchen.
Yes.
Anyway.
And the peppermint patty one, you are 100% correct. Like, I watched it and I was like, oh, that's pretty doable.
Yeah, it's also like, it's not just, I can make them at home. It's like, this is like 5 ingredients, it's not even 5.
Yeah.
It's literally like, it's like condensed milk, powdered sugar, peppermint extract, and chocolate. And in mine, because when I looked up a recipe online, it was like, and vanilla. I was like, cool, I'll add vanilla too. No one ever said no to vanilla and peppermint. So like, mine have 5 whole ingredients. And you just like mix powdered sugar with the condensed milk until it turns into a dough. And then you turn the dough into patties. And then you dip the patties in chocolate.
Yeah. It looks, I looked at that recipe. It looks doable enough that even I looked at it and was like, I think I could do this.
Yeah. I was lazy. I did it in the mixer, so I didn't even have to use my arm.
I would have had to manually mix it. But anyway, just so that you know, we're rolling up on our 30 minutes.
Yep. So we should probably wrap this up like a Christmas present.
Wrap this up. Cool. We're going to do an abbreviated ending. But first, quick shout out one of our shows on the network.
Actually, what I'm going to do today, because we are going into the holidays, happy holidays, everyone. Allow me to just mention quickly all of the cool shows you could be listening to this year and next year. All of the ones that are currently still producing episodes and are not on hiatus. You could be listening to They're Super Geek. You can, of course, be listening to us, Panda's Talking Games. You already know about us. Mastering Dungeons, Misdirected Mark, The Gnome Cast, The Lounge, Bonus Experience, and Bone Stone and Obsidian. So if you are looking for more shows to tide you over while kind of everybody's taking a little bit of a break for the holidays, please feel free to check out some of the other shows on our network. They're all pretty awesome. And, have wonderful time. Audio for your ears.
And have a wonderful holiday season and a wonderful new year.
Yeah. I know we're a little bit late for Hanukkah, I think. This year it was a little early.
Yes. I think we've been saying happy holidays along the way.
For
but
a while.
Just in case.
In case, if we're belated, then we're belated. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do this very quickly. Tell us where people can find us on the internet.
Well, you can find us on Twitter at Pandas Talk Games. You can find us on the Misdirected Mark forums, forums.misdirectedmark.com. You can drop us an email directly, panda@misdirectedmark.com. Or, of course, there's always TikTok. Good luck. Once they find us in one of those locations, what can they do with that information?
Throw us out an idea for a show. It can be a question. It could be a topic that you want to hear. It could be whatever. We're really good at coming up with the show part of it. So whatever's on your mind is what we want to talk about. Because as always, and as we've strived to do every year, we're here to help you have more better games. And we do that by addressing the things that are concerns to you or questions like, how do I best use this in my game? How do I do this? We want to help you with those things. We're not always an expert in them. When we're not, when we're not, we cop to it. And when we are, we happily dispense some advice. But in either case, send us topics. We love doing the shows that are important to you. I'm going to do a very condensed version of this. if you like what we do here, please consider supporting our Patreon campaign. Go to patreon.com/MMP. Patrons get access to our Slack room, as well as to the Bamboo Lounge and the bonus outtakes. The patronage helps all year round. It helps with everything from our hosting costs to equipment upgrades and all that stuff, which is what helps make the entire network go around. So we greatly appreciate any patronage that you're able to do. Finally, if you are already back in the Patreon campaign, thank you very much. If you're unable to, we totally understand. There's a thing you can do, which is just get the word out about our show in any way possible. Tell your friends, post it when somebody asks what to listen, like what gaming podcast to listen to. Even run out and give us an iTunes review or wherever you get your podcast from.
Love reviews. Give your favorite podcasters, whether it's us or not, a review for Christmas.
Yeah, if you do wind up with a little bit of free time over the Christmas holiday, and you have a favorite podcast, and again, does not have to be us by any stretch, but if you have a favorite podcast, throwing them a review, especially like on iTunes or something,
they'll appreciate it.
They'll totally appreciate it. It's a really nice, no-cost gift, just a little bit of your time, which shouldn't say no cost because your time is actually worth something, but it's no
good
capital,
caveat, but yes.
Yeah, well, it's true.
Yeah.
Everybody's time is worth money.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you very much. 2021 was a challenging year. We'll talk a little bit about it when we start off 2022. But we're here. We hope you're playing games. We hope we're helping you play games. And if we're not doing that, we hope we're at least entertaining you.
Yep.
So thank you for listening throughout the year, and happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody.
Say, Senda.
Yeah.
What are you doing for New Year's?
Ooh, haven't thought about it yet. Good.
Show me what you got, hey. Show me what you got. Show me what you got, hey. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Show me what you got.
This show is a joint production of She's a Super Geek and Misdirected Mark Productions, the media arm of Encoded Designs.
Show me what you got, hey. Show me what you got. Show me what you got, hey. Show me what you got. Show me what you got, hey. Show me what you got. Show me what you got, hey.
Yeah.
Check.
And we're here.
Cool. Get ready. I'm going to do the opening. We're doing this. This is a
Like
short
so
and
fast.
fast. Yes.
Short and sweet.
It's a quickie. We're having a quickie.
We're having a quickie before lunch.
We're having a quickie with all of you. And welcome to another fine game. Oh. Fail. Try again.
I guess then we end. You're supposed to ask me a question.
Oh, sure. Sorry. We'll cut this a little closer. Say, Senda.
I'll fix it.